According to the ratio of the planets, the Moon was undoubtedly one of the biggest satellites in the solar system. For instance, a scientific perspective viewed the Earth and the Moon as a pair of twins. For 4.5 billion years, they've shared the title of the third planet in the solar system. And right now, 380,000 kilometers from the Moon, dark purple ruins cover the Earth, making the once azure planet dull beyond recognition, just like that biosphere that relied on retinol instead of chlorophyll billions of years ago. Mountains, seas, rivers, cities. Everything sunk into dark solitude and slept like an infant in a mother's arms. Even when oceans dried and all had changed. Lilia! Rosalia, what's wrong? Lilia poked her head through the door. Some cream still stuck to her nose. This is bad. Something's wrong. Oh? Lily, did you hear what I said? It's not good. Last time you said that you were in trouble, your hand was stuck in the cookie jar. Before that, it was gum in your hair. And before that? So, unless you'd rather eat charcoal instead of cake for dinner, I suggest you deal with it yourself. This is different. This time we're under attack. Under attack? What attack? By whom? Where? Rosalia looked around the sunlit bedroom filled with the aroma of dessert from the kitchen. Seeming to realize just where she was, the look of confusion grew on her face. What's going on? I remember sneaking away and being surrounded by a lot of weird enemies. Tall and huge, and they make a crackling, buzzing sound. We were under serious attack. Huh? Wait, you don't mean Honkai beasts? Right, those. If you know it too, it couldn't have been a dream, right? What are you talking about, Idioka? Of course, this isn't a dream. I told you. Isn't that what the movie we're filming was about? Huh? Oh, right, Vodka Girls 20th film. The film of the century, about a pair of talented, beautiful girls that become super soldiers to save the world from the monsters that threaten to destroy it. And those monsters are called Honkai beasts. You idioka, you don't know the difference between script and reality? Haha, if that's the case, then there's nothing to worry about. Let's go out and play. Can't you stay on topic for 1 second? But Lily, don't you want to hang out? I knew it. You should trust your big sister more often. Let's go. But the cake. It's okay, Mom will bake it for us. Time slipped by as they played. The late sun dyeing the sea marmalade. Looking at the setting sun, Rosalia stopped in her tracks. It's getting dark. That's enough for today. Let's head home. Oh, is Rosa Idioka afraid of the dark? That's not it. Once it's 7, you... What will happen? I can't remember. I guess it's not important. Oh well. Alright, Lily, let's hurry, or we'll waste the day away. Let's play. Now it's time for a game of hide and seek. Rosalia Idioka, what's the point of just 2 people playing hide and seek? That's true. Then let's go collect some seashells. Sounds like a hustle. Hey, wait for me. After the sun had set, the sea breeze still carried along the girls' laughter. It's fun playing with Lily, no matter what we're doing. But I feel like I'm forgetting something. What is it? The waves continue to lap the beach, washing away any unpleasant memories. In another dream, unbeknownst to Rosalia, a young man was walking by the beach. If May was here, she would find this person looked similar to the elderly who had fused with Project Sigma. And now, there were no traces of old age on his face, and he no longer wore that dirty long robe. He wore the most fashionable outfit he had when he was young. Like a lively youth, he ran on the beach, laughing and enjoying the dawn of life. He completely forgot that in his original youth, he had never seen a real sea. In countless different worlds, similar suns rise and set countless times. Humans have forgotten the line between dream and reality and begun to embrace their new lives in the Sigma space. In a pristine snowy village, a man slid down the hill swiftly on his snowboard and did a perfect flip in the air. Unbeknownst to him, merely half a month ago, he was barely breathing in a hospital ward, and his only wish was to survive through winter. In a city that never sleeps, the wealthiest plutocrat had just ended an exclusive interview and was gambling a fortune at the casino. He basked in the admiration and compliments from those around him. His life when he was cooped up in a leaking basement far from home seemed like a distant dream that made this moment so much better. In silent imaginary space, countless data were disseminated invisibly in the ether, organized and perpetual. But in the 2 travelers' eyes, it was accurate, swift, and silent migration. From a microscopic perspective, it is but another form of quiescence. We've reached just like that. It looks the same everywhere. I'm afraid it's hard to say it's just like that now. Let's take a break here. I need to calibrate our location. It had already taken more time to escape this labyrinth than the two Valkyries had expected on the moon. With the Gauss-Bane battlesuits, they had already traveled toward the Earth for approximately 47 hours. According to our previous calculation, judging by the distance, we should prepare to flow up to the real space. What a relief! Truthfully, this has been more exhausting than my mountain runs back when I was training, and I don't know the route. Given the chance, I'd like to travel a few more times, but I don't have the strength or effort now. Kiana and the rest might still be fighting on the moon. We should make haste too. Did something go wrong? Isn't this how it always goes in stories? You always encounter a tribulation during a pilgrimage. Ah, something really went wrong. Just a small hiccup. The imaginary space has been getting more and more unstable since before. It's also why I needed to calibrate our location. And this instability is getting worse. It'll be tough for us to leave the imaginary space in such circumstances. We'll likely be trapped here because of that, even if someone was to come and get us. The direction you mentioned just now, we don't have to calibrate that. We are still on the right route. Though this is probably bad news for us. It's easy to redirect ourselves if we've gone astray, but right now, it's more likely that we've encountered something along our way. Shall we look around the area? But I think it's not up to us anymore. I've never seen a situation like this either. I'm afraid it's also related to Project Stigma. Be careful. Alright, if there's anything I can help with, ask away. This space does seem suspicious. I can feel the anomalies, but the disturbances are too strong to suggest we're the only ones here. So there are other sources of disturbances? Or shall I say this space is highly sensitive to start with? I'm no expert, but speaking of weird stuff, the stone blocks over there looks pretty suspicious. Stone blocks? Oh, those ruins. Reminds me of the wizardry in old times. They look similar to the ones on the moon, only they seem to have been pieced together by someone. But this is the imaginary space. Man-made order seems out of place here. Something was activated? but we didn't even touch it. Same as before. The instability of the space seemed to be weaker now. Could it be, instead of the root cause of the spatial turbulences, these are actually countermeasures? It's too soon to say yet. The monsters we saw on the moon. Su Shang, let's first take care of. Su Shang?
走这边，随风奔跑吧，克里希娜。清除崩坏是女武神的职责。太吵了！太吵了！
Looks like these stone pillars are actually stabilizers. As a side effect of Project Sigma corrupting the space, these monsters came from spatial instability. We don't know who set them up, but we can make use of their properties.
太吵了，吃上吧，克里希娜！
Su Shang. As expected, I can't get her to reappear. Looks like these pillars want us to pay a transport fee. From what we experience, these pillars are probably backup facilities set up by the World Serpent for Project Stigma. After all, we took Project Stigma's transport back to Earth. As we approach our destination, it's natural for us to encounter the recycling bin that Project Stigma uses to receive information. Monsters appearing and Su Shang vanishing. This happens because the space overloaded and destabilized. That's why these pillars were activated. From their perspective, is to restore order. Since I got the principle of how things work, this will be easy. The girl gently patted the pillar next to her. Before the overload ends, let's fight together, but I hope that Su Shang doesn't have a rocky time in that space. In a clamoring business district, a mother was picking out decorative flowers at a florist with her daughter. The girl had forgotten the news of her mother's death and clung to this illusion of her, where they were talking happily about her own upcoming wedding. In a condominium far from the bustling city, a young artist was finishing his new masterpiece. His family finally understood the path he chose, and his work were gaining traction among fellow artists. This youth has just taken his first step towards a bright, hopeful future. Next to some ruins smothered by sand, a retired soldier was working with his comrades to rebuild the city from rebels. The arduous war had finally come to an end, and although their homes were long gone, they never doubted that the city would return to its former glory. In an inconspicuous park, with his close friends around him, a young man finally embraced his crush after he confessed. The lonesome man finally obtained his long-awaited warmth. This was the first time over 20 years that he felt thankful for living. In a library lit with candles, a scholar was studying the notes of a trailblazer. He had gotten wisdom that far surpassed others, and an eidetic memory overnight. He finally had the ability to pursue the truth of this world. Different souls with a shared vision. Different faces with a shared dream. Life, wealth, feeling, reputation, dreams. These simplest human aspirations were reflected in one another, linked by an amalgam of memories, forming in its entirety a spiritual atom. There, an endless dream promised eternity to humanity. Old, young, happy, sad, life, death. A smattering of dreams blurred all the rifts that existed between lives. And for this, humanity was plunged into a deep night called Project Stigma, becoming the planet's shadow. A discordant noise was suddenly heard amidst the endless, boundless stream. A unique gray serpent stood atop a globe distorted by Project Sigma, indifferently looking over the giant born from humanity's dreams. With Project Stigma, humanity's best memories were strung together, shared with each other, and framed within a dream. Those illusions hung like stars in the night sky, shining with humanity's hope, and filling an empty world with light. The illusions were, after all, just illusions. Having found the answer he was after and bored with the task at hand, Grey Serpent stopped monitoring Stigma space. And the world fell into a boundless silence. Even after tens of thousands of years, human desires are still framed only in the world they can access. They have not grown in any way. I fear no matter how many times they undergo transformative baptism, they will always be the same. In which case, I have nothing to add. The memories and history here are enough to nourish each other's dreams.
就足以为彼此的梦境供给足够的养分。
So enjoy this new and anticipated life before it is completely merged with stigmata and enters the end.
尽情享受自己期待的全新人生吧。
Sensing something, Grey Serpent lifted his head to the arc. The moon hung silently in the sky, casting a cold gaze onto earth below. There was nothing else. It looks like it's not just sugar ants that are attracted to such sweet dreams. Since we have new guests, as a humble guard of Project Stigma, I'd like to extend greetings to our guests that have traveled all this way. Or maybe it's better to say, to our guest.